Imagery. I'm trying to use like culturally distracting imagery, like things that would distract you from, say, your priorities. Yeah, you know. So yeah, there's a few things I'm exploring here. The notion of distracting you away from your priorities, and the tools with which people. Yeah.
Well, when you get the stepper motor part working,
Yes.
get that guy from the
Yes.
I love the interface. It's really
Yeah, but there's something so archaic about this thing that like it's really fun to pull and have things happen. I don't know if you should do away with interactivity.
You know, that's the box they use to launch the atomic attack.
Yeah, right, I know. So I feel like I'm killing butterflies when I pull it.
I do think in terms of this, in terms of your idea, like, it's pretty fun to do. I don't know if that actually, like, the idea of, like, getting distracted by all these things, like, in a real negative way,
Yeah.
I don't really get that. Like, I get more, like, totally fun.
Huh.
You know what I mean? I'm just, my personal thing when I'm watching it. I
Well,
feel like it's
because
fun.
this thing is kind of, that thing whirly-gigging around is kind of like a carnival.
It is a carnival.
It feels like more like media referential imagery, you know, like
YouTube's pretty distracting.
An accomplished image, or you know.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you could maybe you could have screens that like change, and like when they change, it like has to look at the screen or something like that, and then
Right.
you could incorporate a lot more imagery.
Thanks. Yeah, and that's you know, it's another reason why it's not finished yet is because the imagery is still to be determined. I really like the precursor to movies, to projected film, or like persistence of vision, where you have these images or these objects that move and create one image out of two. So I was trying to incorporate that as well.
It looks solid. It looks like a 3D object.
Right. Exactly. So like when that, and I did this quickly. But I made it so that it can be replaced, so maybe I could have a box. This is just a bolt, right? So this comes out, and maybe I could make an index of these, and you can pick which ones go in, screw it in, and you can.
Are you gonna leave the American flag?
Well, the flag imagery is something that I've used quite a bit in older work, and it would be scratched away, sanded away, and then patinaed, and it would go through.
So you would use the same metals, right? And
I don't. It would. Yeah, it would. It would
so
look more like
it wouldn't
this.
be blue and
right.
red.
It wouldn't
Okay.
look so shiny.
Right.
It would be stylized a little more.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't have any images of older stuff, but it's something that I've used quite a bit. But
There's another emphasis you can give to this. I mean, there's a lot of interest in what artificial intelligence is. And in a way, this is the beginning of the study of the way intelligence works and the way so almost rather than focusing on what it's getting distracted, think about the process of distraction and how that keeps things not from either moving forward or enriches
your multimedia
the artificial analysis.
Okay. If we felt that we were just turning those or those on, and the eye was moving by itself, I think right now I feel like I'm cranking both of them at the same time.
You're moving the eye too.
Yeah, I feel like if I felt the eye was moving on its own,
if the eye reacted to
Well, maybe the switch is on the things themselves. Well, but then what would be the point of that thing?
right.
Or maybe big wires coming through the things. So that although it's hard not to think you're controlling the eye. So.
Yeah, is the eye, does it move with the motion of what you're doing?
Yeah. Right now,
impression is not moving.
yeah. There's three circuits, but they overlap. So when you throw power to this one, it engages this circuit. I'm sorry, it actually engages this circuit. And when this arm swings, see right now the circuit is actually connected by this rod and this spring. So when this bit hits this, it breaks the circuit of this motor under here, and it stops spinning. So it's a mechanical disruption.
Could you delay that or not?
Yeah, you're not using Arduino, huh?
No.
So yeah, that's what seems delay.
Well, you could find a physical way of doing delay too.
Yeah, I'm not against Arduino. I just couldn't figure it out.
There's a chip called the 555 chip. It is a delay chip.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a simple chip.
That's
It
kind of
wouldn't
complicated. You have to like use more resistance. I don't know. You like have to get more into the circuit to like.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
find programming easier than circuits.
I need to spend some real time just dealing with programming before I can get my head around it a little more. But for now, like this is what I'm comfortable with. This is what I have experience with. I think I can slowly bring that stuff in more and more.
Even hiding the cord though, like from the eyeball to that, like
Mhm.
I think it works better if I'm under the impression that might be disconnected, you know.
Okay.
So just something where I feel almost where the eyeball. I almost think of like if the interface was this thing, you know, and the eyeball was almost like seemed like it was separate,
Up there or something.
and then all of a sudden you see the eyeball moving. It won't. I don't think it'll feel as much like you're moving it.
Yeah.
Which I think gives it more of that like kind of haunting distraction in like a negative way.
Okay.
Whereas right now I feel very in control of what's going on.
Yeah, and it also it gets kind of boring after the 50. Like okay, you walk away, you know. So.
All right. Thank you.
This is it. Thank you.
Yeah,
So we're going down to the